Well, how did it happen and why a baby dies after being left in her father's car for 6 hours?
We're learning new details today about that tragic case in Hillsboro. The car was parked at Intel. That's where the dad worked. He called 911 after finding the baby unresponsive. Going beyond the headlines tonight, though, Amy Frazier talking to a national child safety group. Amy's here with that.
Well, if you're thinking I would never forget my child in the car, you are certainly not alone. But a nonprofit working to prevent this kind of tragedy says it's more common than many people realize, and they say it happens to good parents. In cases across the country, similar to the tragedy in Hillsboro, parents who forgot their baby in the car thought they'd never forget.
These aren't bad parents, and they're kind of the type of parents that everybody aspires to be. You know, everyone talks about how amazing they are and how they took every safety precaution, but they had no idea that their brains could fail them like it did.
I contacted Amber Rollins in Kansas City, Missouri. She's the director of a national organization dedicated to keeping children safe in and around cars.
And what we know is that this does happen.
Hillsboro police are still investigating. They do tell us the father took his 6-month-old to a doctor's appointment and was supposed to take her to daycare, something that was out of his routine. The little girl fell asleep while they were driving. Investigators say the father drove to Intel, where he works, accidentally forgetting his baby in the parked car for 6 hours. How does something like this happen? Are there any common factors?
Yeah, so some of the common factors that we see in almost every single case are a change in the normal routine.
She tells me it also tends to be parents who are tired or stressed out.
What happens is your brain goes on autopilot. And I think we've all experienced this, in our everyday lives, but it didn't have fatal consequences.
What are some things parents can do to help prevent this?
So parents can do something to help them remember to always open that back door and check the back seat every single time they leave their vehicle.
She says put your purse or wallet or cell phone in the back seat, something you'll need that day.
Also, parents can create a policy with their child care provider. So if their child doesn't show up as planned, they would call them immediately. The absolute biggest mistake that any parent can make is to be that person who says, this will never happen to me. This can happen to you. It could happen to me. It could happen to anybody.
We expect to learn the infant's cause of death sometime next week. At this point, the father is not facing any charges, but investigators say the case will likely go to a grand jury. We'll continue to bring you any new developments. Reporting live in the newsroom, Amy Frazier, KOIN 6 News.